The World Health Organization estimates that over 20 million people die annually due to cardiovascular-related diseases, also known as CVD cases, making it the #1 cause of deaths globally. Experts agree that this is largely due to lifestyle changes fueled by a rise in disposable incomes.
As the people become more and more urbanized, most of our populations, we are having people eating less and less of the traditional foods which our parents and our forefathers were used to, foods which do not contain a lot of cholesterol. Besides that, our people are they are not exercising as much, so a combination of urbanization, lack of exercise, and the kind of foods that we are eating are really contributing to the increase of cardiovascular diseases. And for those patients with high cholesterol levels, of course, they are at risk of getting this coronary artery disease.
The cardiovascular diseases in Kenya have increased, whereas in, say, the 1970s, you would probably struggle to meet a person who has diabetes or has had a myocardial infarction. Right now, they're commonplace, and the numbers are increasing drastically. The statistics, we're still gathering information as part of the, say, Kenya Cardiac Society and the general stakeholders in the health industry. So we don't have the accurate numbers at the moment. But from just general experience or day-to-day experience, the numbers are alarming.
A spot check on Nairobi's Central Business District reveals fast food restaurants are mushrooming on most street corners, and it is a greater reliance on these takeout joints that is partly responsible for the spike in cholesterol levels among Kenyans.
Normally I make sure that the oil is clean, and every day I have to change my oil. So normally I buy, I make sure that the oil is clean, you see. But you see now it depends upon the product, what type of product you use. You see, like some of the fast food, they use the box one, what you call the margarine thing, yeah. But normally I use the normal oil.
In cities, we're finding more fast food, access to fast food, access to more sugar, to more refined carbohydrates. So we're finding that, and then the lifestyles that, say, our grandparents or great-grandparents had is not what we're living, it's not what's being lived in the rural areas anymore. And so with all that, we're finding a lot of diabetes and high blood pressure, which are major risk factors for heart disease.
So cardiologists say that one of the #1 causes for CVD cases is the lifestyle that Kenyans take. But we went down to the street and asked Kenyans what they do to keep healthy.
What I do for my health, I eat a lot of vegetables. Fast foods I eat rarely, like once in 2 weeks.
I don't take as in sugary foods, fatty foods. I don't take them because they are not healthy at all.
I do, of course, a lot of walking, and at the same time, I do go to gym occasionally.
To make sure that you are healthy, you have to eat healthy, a lot of fruits, a lot of greens. You have to do a lot of exercise. Yeah, most of the time you walk.
Tobacco smoking contributes to CVD cases through increased chances of clogged blood vessels. More than half of all habitual smokers die due to related health damages.
Cigarette smoking was a very big problem. Whereas we all know that in the developed world, the rate of cigarette smoking is actually going down. Those in the developed world, they're actually recording a decrease in the number of people who are smoking. But in sub-Saharan Africa and in the developing world, we actually finding that the number of people who are smoking, the number is going up. In fact, most of the young people, women and youth, a lot of them are taking up smoking. So smoking is becoming a big problem.
To ask somebody to stop smoking is a very difficult thing for them to do or go through. It's achievable, but it requires a lot of willpower and just changing I guess who you associate with, what you do with your free time, and how you handle stress, and which are some of the reasons why people smoke. Losing weight is also extremely difficult. We know that we encourage people to go do exercise, but because of the lifestyles we're living, we perhaps don't have enough time, or we don't have facilities close by, or it's not safe to just be running in the morning or in the evening in the neighborhoods we're living.
The country is in dire need of cardiologists to deal with cardiovascular diseases.
Of course, we have a growing number. We're still training. There are more doctors coming through the system. And then we're finding that there are doctors who've trained elsewhere, either in England or in America, and who are coming back home with expertise. And so that's very encouraging. The limiting factor before was pay, that are you going to be able to make as much money here as you'd make there? And we're finding that with the economic changes that have come over the last 10 years, that then we're able to afford, hospitals are able to pay doctors much better than before. But we still don't have enough doctors.
A healthy nation is a working nation. Here is some medical advice to the general populace on keeping CVD cases at bay.
Nowadays, parents pack food for their children. What type of food are they packing? Are we encouraging them to eat more vegetables? Are we encouraging them to eat, more fruits instead of the fast food, the chips, and what have you? The other thing is about exercise. We must emphasize the need for exercise.
I think the future is that we need to train more doctors, train more nurses, or just healthcare professionals to emphasize on preventive measures, because if you're exercising regularly, staying within the normal weight, eating healthy, then the likelihood of lifestyle influencing the progression to say diabetes, high blood pressure, kidney disease is much lower. Doesn't mean it can't happen, because we know that there's a genetic component in there. Some people who, in spite of everything they do, will end up with a disease. And it's also will become a burden, because we're looking at going towards a national health system. And so if we can prevent disease, then there's more money to treat those who do get it. Whereas if a lot of us are getting, say, heart attacks or strokes, then the economic burden on a system that's where we all put money in will be quite tremendous.
The government is also keen on the extension of medical knowledge to provide local expertise in dealing with cardiovascular-related diseases through facilitating stakeholder forums such as the upcoming International World Heart Day in September. For Eye on Kenya, I am Laban Clive on Serio.